need glasses. Take after you then, don't I? It was a family joke, Ivor's glasses. They were always streaked with mud or lost. Gwyn could see them now, balanced on a pile of planks. "Is it bad?" his father asked. Pain began to get the better of Gwyn. The numbing ache was aggravated by a bruised and bleeding thumbnail. "Better go and see Mum," his father suggested. "You're no use injured, are you?" "No, Dad." Gwyn slid a chisel into his pocket, wondering why he felt compelled to do this. Perhaps something at home needed his attention. He didn't know then what it would be. He stuck his thumb in his mouth and jogged down the mountain track toward the farmhouse. In spite of the urgency, he could not resist a look back at the barn. It would be a grand shelter for the ewes, something to be proud of, for they'd done it all themselves. He and his dad, his cousin Emlyn, and Uncle Idris. It was a family affair. "Idiot," Gwyn told himself. "There's nothing going on here." It was such a bright and beautiful day. He could see it all from his high field, and all was well. Nothing threatened from the valley, where trees glowed with early autumn colour. There were no phantoms hiding in the mountains that stretched calm and splendid under an empty sky. But the warning in his hands could not be ignored. He was tired of magic, of intuition and the unnatural power that rippled through him sometimes. Once, he'd been tall for his age, but in 4 years he'd hardly grown. Now information slipped in and out of his mind too swiftly for him to make sense of it. In class he dreamed, wondered about the distance between stars instead of trees, drew crescents where he should have made straight lines, forgot his English, and wrote Welsh poetry that no one understood. Perhaps soon, he thought, when I am 13, the wizard in me will fade away, and I will grow and be like an average boy. To be average was Gwyn's greatest wish. Bending his head over his injured thumb, Gwyn began to run, really hard this time, so that the stitch in his side would distract him from the painful little hints of bad tidings. His mother was in the kitchen, baking for the school fair. Her face glowed pink, with triumph or the unnatural temperature. Gwyn couldn't guess which. The long table was mounded with extravagantly decorated cakes, and the stove was still roaring. Mrs. Griffiths had a reputation to maintain. Her cooking won prizes. 2 sticky flypapers hung above the table, diverting insects from chocolate sponge cakes, iced donuts, cakes layered with jam, and waves of fruitcake. The papers buzzed with dead and dying creatures. "Oh, it's hot in here, Mum," Gwyn exclaimed. "How can you stand it?" "I don't have a choice, do I?" Mrs. Griffiths mopped her flushed cheeks with a damp tissue. "Your dad's not shoveled the manure from the yard, and if I open the window, there'll be such a stench and swarms of flies all through the house. I don't know how the wasps get in, the sly things. Dad's still working on the barn. He's nearly done. It's going to be just great, Mum." I know. What have you done to yourself?" She eyed Gwyn's bloody thumb. "Hammered my fingernail," Gwyn grinned sheepishly. "You're not going to tell me it was the cold that made you clumsy?" "No, it was the sun. Made my eyes water." It was a pretty lame excuse, since he'd been inside the barn, but it would have to do. He gave up all attempt at bravery and grimaced. "It hurts, Mum." "Come on, then. Let's run cold water on it." His mother took his hand. The water was icy. It calmed the pain in his thumb, but now his fingers tingled unbearably. Something needed to be done. But what? "That's enough. I'm okay." He pulled his hand away. "It's still bleeding, Gwyn. I'll have to bandage it." His mother brought a first aid box from the cabinet by the sink. "Ugh, I've no wide bandages. Hold still." Gwyn hopped from foot to foot. Things took so long when you needed to be finished with them.